Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? I know you're watching us from my go by the names of Rokani David. Gabriel Magalhães injury setback to the people of Arsenal. Guys, it's really touching, it's really intimidating, but a little bit of optimistic. Arsenal fans, this might not find you in a better place to obviously come and really jubilate about it. But if you further give it a thought, a third or fourth or fifth thought, then it will take you into the Rejoice Land. Carl Palmer gets his flowers from Malo Gusto. Continue to subscribe to this channel because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers on this channel. And how do you subscribe? Lower left bottom corner it is. Go there, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you to get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. And we love you all and keep it Rokani Media always. It's a Wednesday morning. I come early to really broadcast to you this beautiful story. Now, when Gabriel Magalhães got an injury, the earlier reports indicated that the lad is going to be out until January next year. And you remember me doing that video that he's going to be out until next year. Not so? Now, the report we are really getting in through from the side of Arsenal Academy, and he has leaked very many stories, especially from the training ground, the physio room of Arsenal, have gone ahead and obviously told us that Gabriel Magalhães was aiming to return from his injury for Arsenal's match against Everton next weekend. However, the club now believes that the match comes too soon for the Brazilian defender. That is it. Now, the match comes too soon for the Brazilian defender. You get? Now, mere hearing that, the match comes too soon, it's a setback. Because if he was aiming to come and play against Everton, that would have gone ahead to look on as a boost. And looking out that he's not going to be available at the time he thought he would be available, then that looks as a very big injury setback, because that means he has not beat he has not met the expectation as a player. And I've seen many people come out and say, big Gabby, big Gabby, big Gabby, big Gabby, big Gabby, big Gabby. But there are things that people don't know about this league. In the recent 3 seasons, 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025, I think there are like 2 seasons where Arsenal went into the Christmas season when they are topping the league. I think 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, Arsenal were topping the league. You get? But did they win the trophy? The answer is no, because the Englishman has a saying, the end justifies the means. Now, I've warned people that think Arsenal cannot make it, as I've always told them that the injuries Arsenal are really getting right now are a blessing in disguise. People don't really understand it, and they just look at the first, second, papers. But you have to obviously flip those papers and read them up to the 1 millionth paper and obviously understand what is under there, what is beneath. This is a very huge boost for the club of Arsenal. And why is it a boost times 1 million times? It's simple. Arsenal has found themselves in a position of really putting out a very huge performance. They are fighting and they are collecting points. Amidst all the problems they're really having with injuries of Gabriel Magalhães, Mosquera, Benjamin White, talk of Kai Havertz, Arsenal has remained consistent when it comes to collecting points, and they are still on top of the Premier League table. I pose a question to you. If you think Arsenal has been able to be on top of the Premier League table right now and they're really having important injuries, do you think they won't be on top of the Premier League table by the time the season comes to an end, provided these players will return? So, I tell you, it's something big for the club of Arsenal. If Gabriel Magalhães returns, maybe early January or late this year, it will be a very huge boost for the club of Arsenal. Their partnership with Saliba will get back to action, you get, and they'll get back into scoring those set pieces as they've always gone ahead to do. Though they've gone ahead to score some without the centre-back pairing, but they are always a threat when they really do have them. So it's a setback that he wanted to obviously return by by this weekend, when Arsenal is playing against a team known as Everton away at the Goodson's Park. But I think Arsenal will get the job done. You get? Arsenal will get the job done. That is it. They'll get the job done. And they've built a squad that even if they're not having their instrumental players in some departments, they went ahead to win. Arsenal has won games without Saka, Odegaard, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Noni Madueke. So with 7 important players out, Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously win games. Even when they lost Gabriel Magalhães and William Saliba in their central defense, they haven't gone ahead to find themselves lose very many games, and they've lost only 1 game. And in the entire season, Arsenal has lost only 2 games. Liverpool away and Aston Villa away. So that is really very, very important for them. And I know they'll keep this form up and running. That is Arsenal for you. So we wait to see whether Gabi will return towards the end of the year, and obviously we see which game he can obviously play, because if he cannot feature for the game of Everton, that has come so early. There is next Tuesday they are playing Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup, then Brighton, And for me, if at all I'm Arsenal, I would have gone ahead to pray to it that he's available when they host Aston Villa on 30th December. That will be a Tuesday. For me, I think that's when they will need this a lot. To me, that is it. I think that's when he will be needed a lot. But he might get in some minutes against Brighton, then he returns. And if he returns at the end of the year, that means he can go 4-5 months playing, because if you count, he got injured when? Not in November, right? He had played August, or you can even count the preseason. From the preseason in July, August, September, October, November, meaning that he had gone 5 months when he's not really having any issues, and he's not an injury-prone player. So when he returns, all will be well for the people at Arsenal, but I think he'll return at the very particular time, because this is the time where you need to obviously win games. You understand? With Man City not having actually Nori, I think that should be another video, how the AFCON is going to affect Arsenal's Premier League winning in there for you. I'll really break that down and bring you the best of the best. And you're demanding me your video of how Arteta can line up Gyökeres and Gabriel Jesus in the same team. I'm coming up with that too here onto what we call the Rokani Media Football. So that's all about Gabriel Magalhães. He was expected to show up in the game of Everton, but he has obviously not met that deadline, and we wait to see whether he comes back in the next game that is going to be played on 27th against a team known as Brighton, or the game of Aston Villa, meaning that those 2 games are really going to be crucial. They're really going to be very, very, very crucial for the return of the lad known as Gabriel Magalhães, right? So that is it for Arsenal. Let me drop a little bit of a Chelsea story. Over the weekend, these 2 players really looked great. I'm talking about Malo Gusto and a player known as Cole Palmer. When Cole Palmer comes back, I tell you, that gives Chelsea an upper hand to win very many games. I tell you, because he's a special kind of player. I must tell you, and I said that. He is really that special guy. Now, Chelsea, after beating a team known as what was the team they beat over the weekend? I've forgotten. They beat that team by 2-0. Malo Gusto had a brace of assists, and a player known as a player called Carl Palmer really scored a beauty, and it was the opener. As I've always told you, the first goal is always very important, very, very, very important. And in its importancy, it really gives teams a lot of positive vibes in there for you. Now, for this guy, Gusto on Palmer's goal, he said, I trust him. He knows I like to pass the ball to him. It was a great run from him and he scored, so I'm happy for him and me too. Now, the guy called Carl Palmer is a special breed of a player. Very many people know it, but they don't want to admit it. In a short period of time, he has been at Chelsea. I think this is his third season, right? Third season at Chelsea, right? And he has put himself into that ilk of the best number 10s in the world. No team in the world, he doesn't obviously go in there to give coach headache on whether to start him or not. Every coach would want a Carl Palmer in his team because of what he makes. He opens up defenses. He scores goals. He's good at set pieces. He's good in everything as a player. He's an ice-cold player that you would love to be having in your team, I tell you. So that is a player known as Carl Palmer, and he put out a very fantastic performance. And for the Chelsea side, yesterday they played into the Carabao Cup and they're through to the semi-finals. I must tell you, after beating Cardiff City by 3-1, they are away in Cardiff, and Alejandro Garnacho scored in the 57th minute. Then David Tambol went ahead to obviously level up the game in the 75th minute. Then Pedro Neto came up and really gave Chelsea a lead again. And obviously Alejandro Garnacho went ahead to score another goal, meaning that he scored a brace. And that means Garnacho is really doing the needful into the mix. And he put out a brace for the side of Chelsea. And what a tide and what a display for the side of Chelsea in this particular game. And they head into action over the weekend to really get back to playing against Newcastle away from home. A tricky game, guys. A tricky game for the side of Chelsea. Newcastle is a hard nut to break, I tell you. You see, they always pay visits to teams and they're hard to break. Now, imagine them paying a visit to a team that is obviously gonna be that the team they're gonna host, where they're gonna be host, it's really gonna be hard, and they'll need something special to collect 3 points from that side. And it's really going to be hard for the side of Chelsea. And we wait and see how that pans out. But it's going to be played on a Saturday. That is 20th December. On Saturday, that's when that game of football is really going to be played in there for you. So smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section. Gabriel Magalhães injury setback. What do you make about it? And what do you make about Carl Palmer coming in through and obviously doing the needful to tell us the beauty of Malo Gusto telling us the beauty of Carl Palmer. But we who already know how beautiful the guy is and how special he is, we are not surprised. We are just waiting for him to obviously do more wonders onto the field of play with his magical left foot in there for you. Guys, I sign out. See you later, and let's meet in the next 1 or 2 hours with another story that I'm cooking for you here onto the Rokani Media Football.